All right. Well, I just watched an entire football game over on Legends Sports Universe channel. Still don't know what was going on, but it was a lot of fun. So Legends does some awesome stuff. So I'm not going to stay on too long, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I did install SI Baseball by Mark Anason. Probably misspelled his name, but this is a pretty cool little game. Um, and it's basically Sports Illustrated baseball digital version. So one man project, and of course the direct comparison to it, if we were doing comparisons, would be Dombrov baseball, which is also Sports Illustrated baseball. So that one's been around a lot longer, and I mean, there's a lot you can do with this. But this one, right now, pretty cool. You can play what seasons from 1967 through well, not through 75, so 67 through 72, and then 75. And then you can also play all time All Stars. So, Sports Illustrated Baseball came out, I believe, in 1971. I think you got to check Mark's channel, subscribe to that. It's really good. A lot of good tutorials in the game, and he keeps developing it, and it's really neat. I was messing around with it after the broadcast we did earlier, and I again want to thank Dwayne Martz and cousin Ken Castro, especially for helping me just put in names to test out an app that I put together for our McGreevy draft that will be happening at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Ken and I also played Game 1 of the 1912 World Series. We did that on App Ago, which was really, really fun. Had a shocking ending, that's all I'll say. And we soldier on. So yeah, this is Sports Illustrated baseball. So sort of very DOSy looking, but that's okay. And if you do download and install this game, make sure you hit Alt Enter so you can go into full screen. There's no mouse control in this at all. So let's just hit. Let's just show you how to kind of start what's going on. So you have a bunch of really really neat things. This does track stats. You can actually you can look at team stats. You can see standings for any league that you have going on or whatever, which is pretty cool. You can just play a one-off game where you're actually playing both. You're managing both teams. You can play against the computer. You can start, continue, stop, complete season play, so you can replay any one of the seasons that comes with the game. You can just play out a season automatically. I don't know why you would want to do that, but the choice is there, which I think is really, really cool. You can play a series if you want. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I hope that there would be a guide or something. I'm not sure on how you create sort of seasons for this, but hopefully, maybe Mark might want to charge a few bucks for this thing or whatever. I don't know. If I knew how to make seasons for Sports Illustrated baseball, I certainly would. So with Dombrov baseball, of course, you can just import seasons. You can either use Baseball Reference or the Sean Lahman database, and it will sort of convert, if you will, into Sports Illustrated baseball, and you can play it. And I was actually messing around with Dombrov baseball some more, and found a little setting that makes it a little bit easier to follow, and such that maybe the lack of a Z plane animation really isn't a big thing. I'm still messing around with that. But this game is really it's pretty cool. Again, I've only just installed it tonight, so it's if you go on Mark's site or on Mark's YouTube page, he does provide a Dropbox link. Just download it, comes a zip file, unzip it, and just find the executable file. And the best way to do it, because it comes with a ton of pictures, because of the seasons and the all-time all-stars, is just do a sort then in your Windows Explorer by size, and the very top file will be the executable, which I pinned down to my taskbar. So if let's play a game, we'll do it just to show you. We'll do a game against the computer. So there we go. It's got the 16 original franchise, but it kind of puts everybody together. So you've got the Baltimore Orioles, St. Louis Browns, for instance, and then the Athletics are covered by Philadelphia, Kansas City, and Oakland. The Washington Senators, and this, of course, would be Minnesota Twins, Boston, Milwaukee, Atlanta Braves, Brooklyn and LA Dodgers. So yeah, I mean, you get the idea. You get the idea. So and it does kind of guide you all the way through, and this is pretty easy to play. The only thing I would suggest is don't play it with the sounds on. It's kind of fun when there's a home run hit, but like there's this big sort of monophonic sound that will happen for some other things, and really you're not losing anything by not playing with the sounds. So let's say we wanted to play. You can play whatever you want. This is a one-off. But let's say we just wanted to play the Red Sox Indians, and we want the Indians to be the home team. So we would just 2, 4, just like it tells you. Boom. And logos are automatically there. The above correct, just type yes. And the team will be managed by the computer. We'll let the computer manage the Indians. So this green red stuff is green, red, blue, yellow. This is all from the original Sports Illustrated game. Again, I've commented many times when we've talked about Dombrov baseball. It's not Richard's fault, and certainly not Mark's fault that somebody had the bright idea to do green and red, which I'm not. But if you're colorblind, kind of makes Sports Illustrated baseball, if you're red green colorblind, kind of yeah, not really worth playing, or hard, you couldn't play it. So, boy, I don't know. I think we're gonna start. Let's start Smoky Joe Wood. All right, let's start Smoky Joe Wood, and I think it's nice that again he includes the pitchers. I think this is going to be a game that could really grow into something. I hope he does. It's definitely a labor of love, but it's a neat looking ball game, as you'll see when we get into it. And I realize it's very late, so I'm going to keep this really short, just so you guys know that it's up here, and you really should go check out Mark Anason. Just do Mark Anason baseball. And I may have misspelled. I have to look because it was very late. It's 1 a.m. So, and bad eyes for right now. So yeah, so we're gonna have Smoky Joe Wood versus Bob Feller, where we to play the entire game. Okay, so you can if you do player position, this is how you set up your lineup. It's really nice though that Mark has something built in. If you type 0:0 or 0:0 if you want to start over, or you can just do an auto lineup, which is really nice. But if you look here, and you can find player charts, all kinds of stuff on the internet that will sort of explain all this. But you can see the things that are kind of pretty obvious here on rolls and stuff like that. But I'm going to just go ahead, just for the sake of time. We've got ratings and everything, which is real nice. Okay. I'm just going to type 55 and let the computer and hit enter. All right. So let's see. We got Billy Goodman, Joe Cronin, Carl Yastrzemski, Ted Williams, Dom DiMaggio, Harry Hooper, Rick Farrell, and Johnny Pesky. So I think that looks pretty good. So we're just going to say that, yeah, it's correct. And no, this is not what the in-game screen looks like. This is just so you can see your team and stuff like that. The in-game screen uses ballpark images, much like Action PC Baseball does, and Dombrov Baseball does. So yes, the above is correct. And then let's see, the Indians are going to have Napoleon Lajoie, Shoeless Joe Jackson, Larry Doby, Earl Averill, Lou Boudreau, Joe Sewell, Bobby Avila, and Steve O'Neill. And yeah, so just hit any key to continue. All right. So here's then where you this this is team's or each team's defensive rating. So we're going to you can have dice not visible, no sounds. I would say don't play that way at all. If you have SI dice, of course you can you can manually roll the dice. Again, Richard Dombrov's game also allows you to do that. So we're going to do dice roll with no sounds. The dice roll is really nice. It's the sometimes if there's a single or there's something, it's a very kind of chip tune type thing. So let's just go 2, and we hit any key in there. Here we are. We're at the ballpark, and I think it's a really nice looking game. So Down here, right? So if you hit just the space enter key, it's just going to be pitch hit type thing. But then you can also bunt, you can steal. Some of these I don't know yet. Like, so you hit D if you need to make a defensive change or what have you. You can issue a walk if you're, if you're pitching up here. And I will show you this again some night in Dombrov baseball. This is actually the sort of the results that will happen. So there's always two roles, or most of the time, there's two roles in Sports Illustrated baseball. One for the pitcher, right? And if it just ends up with something blank, then you roll for the batter. If that makes any sense at all. So we got Billy Goodman here leading off, and it shows you who's on deck in the hole, and I don't know who's getting a drink of water or whatever. That's pretty much it. So we just hit that. It's going to roll the dice over there. Okay, and it's going to roll it again, and there you can see it gives you the result of the play. So Billy Goodman grounds out. So it doesn't tell you where, but I don't think that's really, really important. Again, I guess if you were like, if you were a content creator, I mean, you could have just a little bit of fun. So we could say, Billy Goodman, grounds to short, whatever. Okay, then I just hit the enter key, and that brings up Hall of Famer Joe Cronin. Okay, Bob Feller into the wind, and see. Okay, so you can see over there. So we're gonna for the batter roll, and this is strikeouts. So blues are strikeouts, reds are outs, greens are hits. It's really not a difficult system to know. Everything comes in the zip download that you need. So the ballparks, the pictures, there's nothing, everything is, and it's a very small footprint. It really is, as you might imagine. So I think he did a great job on this. So I've subscribed to his channel. I'm hoping he doesn't, I don't think he does any live streams. I think it'd be nice if he did. I don't know, Mark, if you ever see this, if you'd like to come on the channel sometime and talk about your game. A lot of people in the community, I think, would really like it. They let me know about it. And I think you've done a fantastic job. You really have. I'm hoping you'll add a lot more seasons, or if you could teach people how to make seasons, or maybe, I don't know, have an import or something. It would be really great. And I think you should charge for this game. It's really good. It's really good. All right, let's do a couple more hitters. So Bob Feller. All right, here we go. Bob Feller ready to deal here. 2 outs, top of the first, and at Cleveland Stadium. And here is Captain Carl. And here we go, a little bloop single for Yastrzemski into right field. All right, so Yaz is bored. And here's the splendid Splinter batting with 2 down. And here is the pitch. And little ground out by Ted Williams. And that will retire the Red Sox. We go to the bottom of the first. The Red Sox nothing, and the Indians coming to bat. It's that easy to play. Now, because I don't have Sports Illustrated dice, I haven't tried the manual dice roll or anything like that. But what's fun about this is if you have pocket pennant run baseball, you could use the SI dice in there if you wanted. Roll those dice. You can also there's all kinds of things you can find out there. Make your own dice, and so you go on eBay, buy, like, you can buy lots of blank dice for like pennies. I mean, they're really, really cheap. A few bucks, maybe like $12, something like that, because I needed some for Magic. And you could just make your own Sports Illustrated dice. You can look in the Dombrov game, or even here when we roll the dice, you can kind of see what they are, but you're still going to have to read what they mean. Okay, so here we go. So this was a walk. So we didn't have to roll for the batter that time. So Lajoie walks, and I don't know whether the computer's going to steal. He's got a pretty good rating there of 3. All right, here's Shoeless Joe Jackson, and Smokey Joe deals, and Jackson swings and misses, steal right 3. So 1 away now for the great Larry Doby. Lajoie holds first, and here's the pitch. So you can see again, this highlights this green. So that means we've got to go now to the batter card. So I guess much like many games, Sports Illustrated would start with the pitcher, but then sometimes that play result is going to be from the pitcher, sometimes from the hitter. Well, it's going to be from one or the other, right? So here we go. So this looks like this is a force play. So Lajoie is out. So Dobie on with two down, and here's Earl Averill now. Oops, hit the wrong key. There we go. And Averill strikes out. Top of the second, and no score here in Cleveland. So I'm guessing that the ballparks that are in here for these teams would just be the ones just like from these seasons. I'm guessing. I didn't see what you're going to get are a lot of players, which is nice, and I do like the looks of these. I don't know if they're the same, if they're in the same format as Action PC Baseball or Out of the Park Baseball. But again, it's nice to have all kinds of alternatives. I mean, yeah, this baby's free and pretty nice. So I know for Aaron, this probably is not going to be something that's going to be accessible because it is running kind of in a DOS sort of environment. But pretty cool game. But for Aaron, if you catch this on the flip side, Dombrov does have a speech engine thingy. So, and I mean, that'd be easy to implement, I'm sure. All right, here's Dom DiMaggio now. And nobody else. So it's going to be DiMaggio, Hooper, and Farrell do up for the Red Sox. And so again, we've got a roll now for the batter dice. And this is going to be a little slow roller by DiMaggio to short. One away for Harry Hooper. All right. And this is going to be um, hit deep, but out of there. But Hooper is out on the flyout. So two away. And here is Hall of Famer Rick Farrell. Here's the pitch, and Farrell pops out, and we go to the bottom of the second. So no frills. It is straight up Sports Illustrated baseball. Um, so now you have two choices. If well, three really. You got pocket pennant run as long as you have some way of playing Sports Illustrated baseball. You have Dombrov baseball, which has been around since 2012, and now you have this one. And I sense that Mark is probably just kind of programming this on his own time or whatever, but he's getting some assistance from other people in the community. So hopefully, maybe we'll see this. I would buy this game. I really, really, really would. So I mean, I wouldn't pay an out of the park baseball price for it yet, but it's really a good baseball game. I think just taken on its own, the fact that it will track stats, that you can look at standings, that we could even play this ATAS All Time All Stars as a season, I think is really, really, really cool. Um, Now, what's really cool, if you just want to see, you want to look at your fielders, we're not going to make a change. If I hit D, there we go, we can see everybody's kind of there they are. In each of them, Clinton Parks will have the fielders. This does do defensive ratings. We're going to hit no. I'm guessing that R probably means a relief pitcher. So I've hit some of these keys, and I'm not sure what they do. So let's see if R does that. Yeah, so there we go. So there's how you get a relief pitcher in. Just type R. Really nice, and you can look at kind of everybody's sort of player chart. So this game, and if you look on Dombrov Baseball, the Sports Illustrated did have player cards. Now the way they look in Dombrov, I have to say, is way way nicer than the original Sports Illustrated cards looked. Um, but this is really really a nice game, and I think it's. I want to watch a few more videos of Mark actually playing this game so I can sort of present it to you guys better. But a big, big shout out to Mark Anason for creating this baseball game and making it, making it available. And I'm hoping, I mean, Mark, it'd be really smart on your part to maybe, as you're distributing this game, and if you're getting good feedback on it, it'd be great to see some further development. And why not make a few bucks, man? And if you don't want to sell it outright, set up some little, thing where people could just donate some money to you here, $5 here, $10 there, whatever, to continue developing, because you've really done a lot of work. It looks like he's done some other stuff too. Um, I don't know. There's something called Pay Pitch or something. I didn't check that out. I don't know what that is. But this is just fun. It's very very chill. All right. So here's Lou Boudreau, and this one is going to be a fly ball, and Boudreau is out of there. All right, one away now. And here's Joe Sewell. Here is the pitch. And wow, ground out due to outstanding fielding. So I'm hoping that maybe down the line, Mark will add, where the play went to. We baseball geeks love that kind of stuff. Grounder, ground out 6-3, whatever. Wouldn't necessarily need a play by play, but it would be nice to see, just where did he ground out would be nice. Not a big deal, but that's something I would like to see. Just even for immersion, right? Just so if I know grounded to third, okay, because he could have grounded out anywhere, and again, so what? You can just decide who he grounded out to. All right. Here's Bobby Avila now batting for the Indians. 2 down, no score, bottom of the second. And here is the pitch. And this one, a hard line drive single by Bobby Avila. Let's say it went into right field. So Avila's on board now. And here's catcher Steve O'Neill. All right, Wood checks Avila at first and comes home with it. And he popped him up. And that will retire the side. We go to the top of the third. Indians, Red Sox, no score. All right, I think I'm gonna cut. I don't know. I mean, I got 4 people watch. We can continue for a while. I'm just sort of, like I said. I after I did my broadcast tonight, I was watching Legend Sports Universe do some American football, and I remember Will Toole had asked about this game because we'd mentioned it on the channel, thanks to AP and Samuel Smith, who both kind of alerted me to this game's presence. So I'm not going to do a thing like put this up on the McGreevy League or anything like that. I think that's something, this is Mark's property, if you will. But just what a great job he did, and you don't know what this could turn into. Remember, Marcus Heinsohn, 1999, was a sole developer of Out of the Park Baseball. And, look what it's grown into. So you never, never, never know. We could be on the ground floor of something really, really fun. And Sports Illustrated Baseball itself didn't stay around a long time, but if you go on Board Game Geek, you can find all kinds of amazing add-ons for the physical game. And so people have kept it alive. And of course, again, Richard Dombrov with his with Dombrov Baseball Sim is Sports Illustrated. But again, it's not fair to make comparisons because that game has been around a long time. You can all kinds of ballparks, create your own seasons, your own type of leagues, things like that. But this is such a great beginning, and it's really, really solid. And again, small footprint, unzip it, run it, and it will just go for it. It will just go. All right, here's Johnny Pesky leading off for the Red Sox here, top of the third inning. And here we go. And a little ground out there. So Pesky, 1 up, 1 down. And here's Smokey Joe Wood. So Smokey Joe Wood got himself a couple hits tonight, I think. And Ken and I's 1912 on Apago. Here's the pitch. So Bob Feller able to pop up his mound opponent. So quickly, 2 up, 2 down for Boston here in the third. And That brings up Billy Goodman. Billy Goodman. All right, here is the wind and the pitch. And this one, grounder by Billy Goodman, and that will be out number three. Red Sox go quietly. We head to the bottom third here at Cleveland Municipal Stadium. Red Sox and Indians, no score. So mutual one hitter going right now. Rapid Robert Feller, Napoleon Lajoie, Shoeless Joe Jackson due up for the Cleveland Nine. Smoky Joe Wood into his wind. Here's the pitch. And this one, a little roller to short, and Feller is out number one, back at the top of the order for Napoleon Lajoie. So I don't think it sort of tracks in-game stats here or anything like that. So, Mark, hopefully you're just open for maybe some quality of life type things, if you don't mind, some humble suggestions. So, what I would like to see would be okay. I'd like to be able to track what Lajoie is doing in game, which would really be nice. So, I mean, yeah, we know here that, for instance, he has no homers, no RBIs, and nothing like that. But I think it would be fun, sort of like, and it wouldn't have to go as deep as say Action PC Baseball or anything like that. But it would be nice at least to see in game what players are doing. I'd like to know right now how many. I mean, I know I could go to the box score and things like that. But I would like to be able to just get that quick information on the field if possible, even for in game. Be really, really nice. So that would be good for a quality of life thing. And then also, maybe if there's a way you could share or do a video, and if you want people to kind of make this a little stone soup project and say, look, this is how you make seasons, I think that would be awesome. I know this is I don't know whether you've thought about any of this stuff or not, but guys, this game's gotten a lot of updates as I've been looking through this. He does a lot of accuracy tests with this game. There's a video he does with the accuracy of the 1971 Pirate batters and Oriole pitchers and things like that. So, he didn't just code this game and just leave it to the winds. He's constantly refining and very playable. Again, I mean, I didn't have to look at any manual or anything. Basically, just hit a few keys, and you can't really break it. So, in other words, if I hit R right now, I could, or let's say if I hit R when Cleveland's up there, it's like, okay, I know that's for relief pitchers, so it's just not going to let me do it. Okay, so let's have a little fun. So one out, and here's the pitch to Lajoie. Lajoie goes down swinging. So two down. Smoky Joe Wood bringing the heat, and here's Shoeless Joe Jackson. And Shoeless Joe Jackson, a little fly out, and he is out of there. We go to the fourth. Still no score here between Boston and Cleveland. And we got Joe Cronin, Carl Yastrzemski, and Ted Williams due up. All right. And there we go. Joe Cronin swinging a miss, strike three. So Bob Feller coming with the old strike out there. So one away. And here is the captain, Carl Yastrzemski. And there we go. And Yastrzemski flies out. So I don't know whether he's using because I've seen like deep fly out and then pop out. So I tend to think of pop outs on the infield, fly balls to the outfield, as I think most of us do. But again, these aren't criticisms; these are just observations as maybe the game moves forward. That maybe some terminology, but that might also be a restriction in Sports Illustrated baseball at all. But I like it; it's very, very clean looking. As you're watching the dice, you sort of start to learn what's exactly going on in the game, and you can see the numbering here is from 10 to 39. So this isn't just like regular D6s that you're rolling in the game, but yeah, good stuff. You can see down there in the right hand corner, there's the dice. So if we look, it looks like that this is a 21. So I'm guessing that a zero there's no count on the zero. So a 21. I'm trying to kind of track what the dice do, and a blue is a strikeout. So it seems to me that Ted Williams is going to strike out on a roll of 21, 22, and 33. Kind of makes sense. Yeah. All right. So bottom of the fourth. So let's see if we can guess here. So well, let's roll the dice and let's see. Okay, so we got nothing here. So and that is saying it's a 26. So it looks like zero counts for, yeah. So we got 20. So this must be a 10 die, I'm guessing. So this is going to be probably a 1, 2, 3 type die, and then 5 and 1, and we do have a 26. Okay. All right. Now, is this a 36? I am right. It's a 36. And we see that this is a ground ball out. So Larry Doby's out. So good. Now we know how to read SI dice. Pretty good. There's one thing that was sort of when I discovered, and I'll show you some night on Don Broad Baseball, that there is something like this. There's not, I haven't seen a way to make this larger, but I noticed when I was playing it a little bit tonight and just kind of looking at the two, since they are the same adaptations of the same board game. So for Richard, it would really be nice if you kind of followed suit here and made. I couldn't find in the options how to make this larger. There's probably a way to do it though. All right, here's Earl Averill now batting with one down. No score here in Cleveland. Bottom of the fourth, all-time All-Stars. And let me see, this should be a 36. Indeed it is. So we see nothing up here, or it's green. So that means we're going to go to the batter. Here's the pitch. And I'm not looking up there. So this looks like this is a 23. And indeed it is. And this is a fly ball. So Earl Averill is out number 2. All right, here's Lou Boudreau. And this one is going to be a double. So Boudreau gets himself a 2-out double here in the bottom of the fourth. So the Indians with a potential first run in scoring position. And here's Joe Sewell. And so there we go. So this one here is a 16. So I guess we're reading these right. Yeah. So 16. And so this one came right off the pitcher's card. And this is a fly out to retire the side. We go to the top of the fifth. Game moves along really quickly. If I wasn't rabbiting so much, you'd probably go through a game in 10 minutes here. All right. So it's nothing. But again, just check it out. Just Google Mark Anason baseball. Next time I do this, we'll do it like a whole game so that you guys can see it. But I do want to watch a little bit more on this. But you saw all the things that you can do and stuff like this. It gives you a nice little handful of seasons to play with. I'll be playing with the all-time All-Stars with this game. And maybe 1971. That might be fun too. A little 1971 replay on here. That I love that season. I love that Pirates team from 71. But I think this is the footprint on this is about the size of it's probably around diamond mine size or something. So, and I think if Mark really will have the time at some point to devote to it, that he can bring in, if not for people like me that want dead ball baseball or whatever, but at least maybe do some seasons. I know for most people in this community want some, a lot of 80s baseball and maybe some 90s baseball or whatever. So I'm hoping that Mark adds to this. Some other things maybe down the line would be nice to be able to create custom teams. Since you are kind of dealing with databases here, or even just with this, I'd love to be able to, maybe just with the players that are in this all-time All-Stars, maybe create some sort of custom league out of that. But even as it is, it's really fun, and I think it has a lot of potential. So anyhow, Don DiMaggio gets himself a gapper there. So DiMaggio is on board now. Each team with 2 hits, and Harry Hooper trying to make a difference here in the top of I believe we're in the fifth inning. And Hooper walks. So Bob Feller could be in a little bit of trouble here. Rick Farrell, not necessarily known for the bat in the Hall of Fame, is a great defensive catcher. And Bob Feller deals. And Farrell pops out. So we're going to call that infield fly rule in effect. Nobody goes anywhere. All right. Here's Johnny Pesky. And Johnny Pesky walks. So Bob Feller now in trouble with one out. And again, Smokey Joe Wood, a good hitting pitcher. Let's see what we got here. And Steve Wright 3. So Bob Feller picking up the big strikeout. Now Billy Goodman, we're back at the top of the order. Billy Goodman needs to get himself a safe hit. Boston would like to capitalize on this bases loaded situation. Now, again, I'm managing the Red Sox, but I'm kind of being very hands off just to show the game how it works right now. All right. So once again, we see it's an 18. There's nothing here. So, and you also are going to get prompted down here for the batter dice roll. And the Red Sox leave them loaded. Billy Goodman does not come through. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Still no score. I think we'll just go ahead and play this game. We're like halfway through. It moves quickly. Bobby Vila, Steve O'Neill, Bob Feller due up for the Indians. And I want to see what because the AI manager does have some logic. It will decide when to, like for itself, it will pinch hit only for pitchers. Mark does talk about that, but it will decide when to bunt, when to steal, things like that. So there's already an AI, if you will, in place. But again, for a lot of guys that play cards and dice baseball, you don't have an AI that you're managing against. So you could just choose to play. And when you do that, you just have to roll and roll. Just it's all you got to do. Simple enough. Okay, and here's the pitch to Bobby Avila. Avila grounds out. So good old fashioned pitchers duel going on here in the bottom of the fifth inning. All right, Steve O'Neill at the plate. Steve O'Neill whiffs against Smokey Joe Wood. 2 up, 2 down for the Indians. And here's Bob Feller. And Bob Feller be hitting for himself, and why not? He flies out to end the inning. We go to the top of the sixth inning. Still no score here in Cleveland. All-time All-Stars using Mark Anason's SI Baseball. This is Sports Illustrated Baseball done digitally. All right, Joe Cronin, Carl Yastrzemski, Ted Williams. They're not getting it done here. So when we look at this sometime, so players are they're color coded according to handedness as well. So that's another thing that Sports Illustrated baseball tried to do. I'm not sure why it didn't stay around that long. Uh, everything. Obviously, I don't remember it, but apparently, very good. It was a good baseball game enough that again, if we go to Board Game Geek, we would find a lot of things for the physical game. I don't know if this game is available. We should probably check. I'm gonna check on another screen here. And let me see if this game, because eBay, geez. So let me just see. Sports Illustrated baseball board game. There we go. I'll bring this over for you guys to see. So it is available, but it's not cheap, as you can see. So I guess Avalon Hill bought it out or something because there's a 1978 one. So it's $200. You can get, so this is 1981. So by this time it's Avalon Hill, but Sports Illustrated, the brand is still there. So here's one of the originals, $200. Here's all kinds of, here's one for $40. Another, so expect the originals to be this kind of price. But yeah, for 24, here's 1984 for $29.99. Now I don't know if that means you already have to have the base game to work with this or not. But oh my God, what's this? Okay. Yeah. So is it this collectible? I don't think so. So somebody is charging almost 8,000, what, $7,777.77. This dude's probably smoking something here. There's no way. I mean, I guess if you're, I don't know. I just really don't know why you would. Um, I don't imagine. I mean, what the amount of baseball that you could buy for $7,000. So, pah. So you can't even bid on this one. So you just buy it now. Are you kidding me? So sorry there, brother. I don't think so. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. So, let's knock this back out again. So, yeah, and there's, of course, now we're seeing some status pro baseball. So I don't know if this is just the eBay algorithm thingy or whatever, or whether status pro, because status pro and Sports Illustrated baseball look nothing alike at all. Um, so it looks like this game averages anyway. Forget the $7,000 anomaly. I guess if you wanted the original game, yeah, I can see. Okay, so Sports Illustrated. Now I do remember when I look at this box specifically, Sports Illustrated then put its name on Status Pro Baseball. So, but its own game was called Superstar Baseball. So, there it is. Um, and for realistically, so you want to get the original in 1971. If you want to spend the money, it's $225. But I would say this game really anywhere, if you don't need a first edition rare thing, anywhere from $25 to $90, and you could play this on your old tabletop. Now, I mean, this is a little more realistic, $200. So this is let's look at a little bit of this one here. See what we got. I don't know if it's going to show player. It doesn't look like we're not going to see any player cards. No, too bad. Too bad, baby. All right, so there we go. That's our little research project there. So for $7,777.77, there's one born every minute, I guess. All right, here we go. Joe Cronin, Yastrzemski, Ted Williams. Oops, I have to remember to click in here. That's only if you have two monitors, just got to remember to click in here to make this your active window again. All right, here's the pitch, and Joe Cronin strikes out. All right, here's Yastrzemski. So Yastrzemski, if I'm looking at this correctly, it's going to be hard to strike out. He's going to strike out on a 29 and a 32. All right, and here's the pitch. And this is going to be a double for Yaz. All right, and so I keep using my mouse like an idiot. All right, so third base hit for the Boston Red Sox with one away, and here's Ted Williams. Here's the pitch. Williams draws the walk. Feller let the bases get loaded earlier in the game, but the Red Sox did not capitalize. Feller deals. And here's the pitch. And this one, just a little Texas leaguer single, and the bases are loaded up, one out. Can the Red Sox actually get it done this time with the bases sold out? The pitch. And this one is, nope, this one popped in the infield. So two down. Looks like Feller might get out of this pickle again. And here's Rick Farrell. Pitch to Farrell. And nope, not this time. So now we've got something else going on here. And this is fun. So what do we got? Result single die one. Does offense want Dom DiMaggio to try for third? So it looks like we do have a run in. So I don't want DiMaggio to do that. Okay, result of the play, single down the foul line. So Yastrzemski and Ted Williams score. All right, so the Boston Red Sox here in the top of the sixth. It's now 2-0 Boston over Cleveland. All right, here comes Johnny Pesky now with DiMaggio at second and Rick Farrell trailing him at first. Here's the pitch, and there's a ground ball out, and we go to the bottom of the sixth. The White Sox lead the Indians 2-0. Napoleon Lajoie, Shoeless Joe Jackson, Larry Doby do up for the Tribe. Now we can also, is it? Let me see. It's not B is well. Okay, so the Cleveland Indians are up. So see if I hit B, nothing happens because B is for bunt. Now, I'm probably going to mess this up. Let's try this S and see what goes on. Can't do anything there. I don't think Q does nothing. P. Let's go to P. What does P do? P does nothing. I don't want to bring in reliever, defense, and I certainly don't want to walk Lajoie. But D is defense. So, but if we type yes on a defensive change, so here's where you can make a defensive change if you wanted to. Let's type play. So this is like for switching positions, replace player, or you can type like, so if you wanted to switch positions, pretty easy. Just player one, player two, everything's numbered here. If you want to substitute a player, it's going to be 1 and 0. Then it's going to take you to your bench. And then just type 0 to return to the game. So let's just see 1, 0 and hit enter. And there we go. Now it takes you to your bench where you can see Doc Kramer, Bobby Doerr, Frank Malzone, Rico Petrocelli, Pete Runnels, Reggie Smith, and Sammy White. Okay. So I'm going to see if 0 takes us back to the game. Yep, it does. So there you go. When in doubt, hit 0 to get back to where you were. So again, without reading a manual, the other thing that I like about this is it's very, very, very intuitive. Very intuitive indeed. Another nice touch, if you could do it, Mark, it'd be really nice to have like, and I mean, this is nice. Cleveland Stadium, home of the Indians. But I think, again, maybe have an option to just move the scoreboard here to center and have so like you'd have a Red Sox logo over here and an Indians logo here. People love logos, man. They love logos, but love your game, Mark. Love your game. This is super, super fun. Here's the pitch to Lajoie. Lajoie strikes out. All right, one away. Here's Shoeless Joe. And here's the pitch and single for Shoeless Joe. He's going to pull this down the right field line. So Jackson is aboard. Now, here's what I want to see. Can I steal with Shoeless Joe Jackson? We're going to try it. So we're going to hit S. Nope. I guess steal. Oh, that's the Indians. I can't. I'm managing the Red Sox. Never mind. Okay, so we get somebody on. We'll try to steal. Of course, Feller's been loading them up. So, all right. And Larry Doby out of there. So 2 down for Early Averill. And the pitch to Averill, and he strikes out. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Red Sox, all-time Red Sox, leading the all-time Indians 2-0. Okay. I think, in fact, I know now that I'm thinking about this because I was wondering, like, okay, where's Ortiz? Where's blah, blah, blah. This all-time all-star set, and maybe Mark will correct me, but I seem to remember that there was an all-time all-star set that was issued for the Sports Illustrated baseball game. And so what we're looking at is that all-time all-star set. So if so, the sharp-eyed among you would have seen, oh, okay, there's nobody here from the 80s or 90s or whatever. So nothing wrong with that, certainly. All right. And Shoeless Joe Jackson, good eye up there, draws the walk. Top of the 7th. Here's Billy Goodman now. Billy Goodman. So Bob Feller again having some trouble with the walks here. I don't have anybody on base I can really steal with. So here's Joe Cronin. Feller walks him loaded, nobody out. He is really playing with fire here. And here's the pitch to Yaz. So here we go. We've got, again, another one of those situational plays here. So our result is a single. Does offense want Billy Goodman to try to score? Type yes or no. Okay, now, if we look over here, manager's decision, um, uh, a 48% chance, one runner. Now, so there's a single. Do I want Billy Goodman to try to score? So I'm not getting, just giving this chance. I don't. I mean, I don't think it would be smart for Goodman. The 2-0 lead, and we got nobody out. Let's try to keep getting him. I've got Ted Williams on deck, so I'm going to type no. I don't want Goodman to try to go for home. And since RBI single for Yastrzemski, base is still loaded for Ted Williams and nobody out. So, and here's the pitch. And this is a 2-run, this is a 2 RBI double for Ted Williams. And the Boston Red Sox busting it open here in the top of the 7th inning. Dom DiMaggio at the dish. And let me see, do I want Williams to try to score? This is a single. I do not want Ted Williams to try to score. I don't think he's got enough speed. So let's just, again, we're going to play very conservatively. Yaz scores, and it's 6-0. I mean, this one's all over but the crying as the Red Sox bust open here for 4 in the 7th. Okay, here's the pitch now to Harry Hooper. And Harry Hooper draws the walk, so the bases are still loaded. Feller in serious trouble here, but Cleveland, a lot of faith. I think it's time to give, I think it would be time to give Rapid Robert the hook, but I'm not managing. All right, here we go. So this is a fly out. Do I want Ted Williams to try to score? So I don't know where the fly out is, but let's go ahead and let's have him try to score. We got a 6-run lead. Why not just play a little bit? And oh my goodness gracious! So there we go. We just went from no outs to 2 outs. That's okay though. All right, here's Johnny Pesky and the pitch to Pesky, and Pesky grounds out to retire the side, but the Boston Red Sox pick up 4 runs. We had 2. It's the middle of the 7th inning. And now the bottom of the 7th. See that? We sang really quickly. It's 6-0. The Indians going to send up Lou Boudreau, Joe Sewell, and Villa. And the pitch. And Lou Boudreau goes down on strikes. Joe Sewell. Joe Sewell grounds out. And here's Bobby Avila. And Bobby Avila gets himself a 2-out double here in the bottom of the 7th. So Avila aboard, not a lot of speed. A 1 rating there. So here's Steve O'Neill. And Steve O'Neill grounds out. We go to the 8th. 6-0 Boston. Feller still in there. So the computer manager here having a lot of faith in Rapid Robert, or just letting him soak up innings in an old exhibition game here. All right, and again, we see up there, it seems to me that a lot of the results are going to come from batter cards. So it's okay. I think it has something to do with reading the original rules or something about adding up the numbers and things like that. I haven't gone deep into this yet. So anyhow, Smokey Joe Wood is out, so 1 away. And back at the top of the order here for Billy Goodman, batting with 1 away. And Billy Goodman grounds out. 2 down, and here's Joe Cronin, and the pitch to Cronin, and Cronin grounds out. Bottom of the 8th, 6-0, and Bob Feller grounds out. Here's Napoleon Lajoie. Lajoie out of there. And Shoeless Joe. Shoeless Joe flies out, so clean inning there. The Indians are going to need a miracle. It's the top of the 9th inning. Feller deals. Yastrzemski out of there. Ted Williams up. and Ted Williams with a double. So potential seventh run for the Red Sox aboard, and that will bring up Dom DiMaggio. DiMaggio grounds out. Williams holds. They look the runner back. Here's Harry Hooper. And Harry Hooper grounded out to an outstanding fielding play. Bottom of the ninth, what can the Indians do here? They've got Larry Doby, Earl Averill, and Lou Boudreau due up. And here's the pitch to Doby. Doby strikes out, one away. Down to the last two outs. Here's Averill. And Averill's out of there. And can Lou Boudreau keep it alive? He cannot. Strikes out to retire the side. And there's your game. A little recap. Boston Red Sox, 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. For the Cleveland Indians, no runs, 4 hits and no errors. So Smokey Joe Wood with a 4-hit shutout. Bob Feller got shellacked. Hit any key to continue. There's your box score. Rick Farrell getting... Hey, D. Scott Howard just showing a kind of a new game on here for a few minutes. I hadn't planned on doing the whole game, but it moves quickly. Rick Farrell gets the game-winning RBI. I don't think we really care about those things anymore. But I like it's kind of clean, kind of cool. The white on black, very easy on the eyes, and especially right now because I am having some significant vision problems. This does not hurt to look at all. Look at the Cleveland Indians there, and not much going on there, right? Cleveland Indians got 4 hits. Bobby Avila was seeing Smokey Joe Wood today, but no runs. And let's see, he had Lajoie struck out twice, as did Earl Averill and Lou Boudreau. Okay, and again, you can see a separate pitchers line. Joe Wood mowed down 9. Feller struck out 5, and then we're back at the game again. So it's really easy. So just in conclusion, this is just, of course, first thoughts. It's not a review. This is not a quote unquote finished game or anything. But number one, it's free. Mark Anason. Just I think it's I think it's Anacon, but it might be Son. Try either way, or just look for I don't know, SI Baseball or something like that, just on YouTube, or I'll provide the link the next time. Super easy to play. And again, when this game is more developed, it will be a lot of fun to compare it to Dombrov baseball. There was somebody else that was doing just as a project, and I don't know if it was maybe Mark back a year or so ago, that was doing another version of Sports Illustrated Baseball. But if you've ever played that game, if you want to play that game, you can spend the money and buy the game, or try this game. And certainly Dombrov baseball as well. But this is nice. There's no animation. You don't need it. The dice rolls sound great. When they hit a home run, it's kind of nice. It's just a little sample. But there's some other sounds the game makes that are kind of really intrusive. And I don't know. I just think that... so I don't know what we do here. We look at view team sheets. Let's look at the... I don't know if this has to do with like what we're going on since we haven't... We played with the Cleveland Indians and the Boston Red Sox. Let's look at the Boston Red Sox team sheets. See what that's all. So there we go. So this is this riot of color. This riot of color. This is each player's... Best way to think about it is sort of this player's card. So you can see here, if we look at Bobby Doerr, what's going to happen under any of these dice rolls. And you can see it uses splits versus lefties versus righties. And again, the color coding has to do with lefties, righties, and switchies. Blues are strikeouts, reds are bad things, greens are good things, and whites are errors. So you can... there's the Boston Red Sox. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. So we can then type P. We can look at the pictures here. I don't know what D stands for yet. Not really sure. So mea culpa on that one. So starting pitchers have their own charts, relief pitchers have their own charts, and everything kind of split up very, very nicely there. So you can see how each pitcher would do as a starter or as a reliever. Let's return to team selection. And I want to see what this does just for, let's look at team sheets. Let me see. So for a team that we haven't played, so let's look at my beloved Pittsburgh Pirates. There they are. So again, these are the original Sports Illustrated, the all-time All Stars. And the other reason why I know that is on Richard Domborov's site. One of the things that you have is the ATAS, and I think he mentions in that write-up this is the original all-time All Stars that was issued by in the Sports Illustrated Superstar Baseball game. But it's got Matty Lou, Smokey Burgess, Max Carey, Roberto Clemente, George Grantham, Dick Groat, Ralph Kiner, Bill Mazeroski, Manny Sanguian, Willie Stargell, Pie Trainer, Archie Vaughn, as you would expect, Hannes Wagner, Lloyd Wayner, and Paul Wayner. So pretty good Bucko team there. Let's look at who we have here. Yep, good to see Babe Adams up there. But again, the usual suspects there: Babe Adams, Wilbur Cooper, Ray Kramer, Vern Law, Sam Lever, Deacon Philippe, Jesse Tannehill, Roy Face. So I think this is a really good game, and I hope he keeps developing it. Maybe he gets a little. Well, there's something. There's a. It's not like quite Patreon, but it's not like buy me a coffee or something like that. I'd like to find out. So I don't know, Mark, if you're even going to hear of this. If you do, man, leave me a message in the comments. I'd sure like to get you on, and maybe with Bernie and me on a Diamonds and Dice podcast. I think a lot of folks would be really, really interested in this game. And again, guys, you can see you can just play. So would you like to play a game? So I don't know if he meant that as a nice little Easter egg or little homage to war games, because that's what Joshua says. Would you like to play a game? So you play against the computer. It has an AI in there. I think staying with Feller that long, I'm not quite sure. Maybe that plays out differently in a season replay. And yeah, you can do season play. And again, you do your team selection from the very, very beginning. You can just play out seasons automatically if you want. You can just play a series. It will track standings, team stats, league leaders. You can zero out everything, I guess, if you wanted to restart or replay, and then view team sheets as we did, and X for exit. Hey, Aaron. Yeah, just finishing up here, showing off this SI baseball from Mark Anason, and it's a good one. And I'm going to be really keen to see what kind of development happens with this game. It's really, really nice. So that is about it. We played a game pretty quickly. I'm just going to just see somebody a queue for season play, but I don't want to play it out automatically. Let me see. Start, stop. So is that going to be if I do this? Select team for complete season play. I don't know what this is going to do, man. Let's see. Okay. Oh, nice. All right. So here's what you have. So for full season playing options, you can manage all of Baltimore Orioles / St. Louis Browns games and no others. You can manage all of their games and some of the other teams' games. For choice 3, you can do some of their games and some of the other ones. So there's no way to play like every game like you can say in out of the park baseball with a little bit of finagling. Or of course, Action PC does let you play every single game. But I think it's nice to have these sorts of whatever. Okay, so zero's not going to let me get out of that. So days ago is still on Discord. No, I haven't, Aaron. I really haven't. To be truthful on this and now what's going on is I'm just trying to find the power supply to that little laptop that I bought like 5 years ago expressly for the purpose of doing encyclopedia imports. So I need to find its power supply and because I want to get on there not only to get you some stuff, but I want to get the whole 19th century in there for baseball for Windows, and I also have to fix the 1914 Federal League or the 1914 League because I only brought in the Federal League for that year. I didn't bring in the National and American League, so but I have to find its power supply. I don't know where it is, and this old PC it works great. This old laptop, but it will not work without the power supply. The guy warned me, but it was $98, and I needed it for one thing only, and that was to do work with the Bill James Encyclopedia because there's no way to get that to run on a modern system, and I didn't want to put a virtual machine. So well, Aaron, it's an old laptop. It's an old laptop, so I would rather. I know the one that comes with it works. I'd be a little leery of just buying another power supply. But this thing is like old school, man. It has Windows Vista on it. What I did was I put a Windows XP virtual machine on it. That old, and again, I literally bought it strictly for just getting working with the Bill James Baseball Encyclopedia. And it's one of those things when it took me a weekend, or no, it took me like 2 or 3 weekends to migrate stuff. And so I did everything from 1900 to 1997. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get around to the 19th century later on. And then, I got off onto other things. Yep. Yeah. So, well, no, virtual machines are a pain in the ass, man. They're a pain in the ass to work with because so when I was doing stuff, looks like I can't get out of here. Oh, that sucks, man. So I'm just gonna hit one and play. No, I don't want to do the next game now. There, that took me back, so it doesn't care. Good. There's always a way back out. So so when I'm working with in the XP thing, I was basically importing the teams into version 5.0, or no, I was doing version 4.0. I'm sorry, of baseball for Windows. But then what I had to do is copy them out onto a drive in the Vista environment, which could be read then by. So my new computer is Windows 11, but the laptop that I do most of my baseball stuff on is Windows 10. But I needed it to be able to read the little thumb drive. So because I'm not going to go on the internet with that old laptop, it's got like Internet Explorer and I think like a really old version of Firefox, and I don't feel like going on there and getting hacked, you know. So does this have any sound? It does. There's no narration in this game at all, Aaron. There's none. But Dombrov, as you know, it does. I don't know if you knew this. It does have a Microsoft narrator option, but no, this doesn't. This is one guy. Well, again, Richard Dombrov is one guy, but this guy is now doing this, and frankly, this plays really smoothly. I really like it. There's no animation. The sound, if there's any sound, a home run, you'll hear a little sample of a crowd cheering. Sometimes, like for singles or certain plays or errors, you'll get this very sort of old school 8-bit monophonic kind of thing that's really loud. So I didn't play. I just didn't want to play it with sounds. The dice sounds are excellent. If there's a way you could just play the dice sounds, that would be super cool. But again, this game is free. Just download it. You download it via his Dropbox, so you just have to For any of you there, just make sure you got Google or Dropbox or whatever you got. I don't know, and just snag it. But again, I am not going to make this available. Um, I mean, if you want this, just go to Mark's YouTube, drop a like and stuff like that. And I am gonna probably watch a video of his tomorrow and say, "Hey, man, I kind of showed your game on my channel last night. Would you want to get on and talk or whatever?" So yeah, Aaron, it's also a DOS-ish type game, so I don't know. Um, so unlike full count baseball, you can still, I mean, like I can move my mouse around in here, but you can't do anything with the mouse in the game. It's all keyboard command driven. But you could try it. But so it's Mark Anason. I think it's Anason. It's his last name, and you can find this game. There's a link in the description in his videos. Go download a zip file, unzip it, find the executable, and everything's already. I mean, and it comes with a ton of player picks. And again, I think it's to cover all the seasons that it plays, then plus the 16 all-time All-Stars teams. So, um, but yeah, this is really cool. I'm glad that people are kind of doing cool things like this. Just remember, guys, you do have to use Alt Editor to get full screen with it. You don't want to play the little tiny screen with this. You definitely want full screen so you can see that the sort of player chart, picture chart along the top. And that's it. So between the other broadcast and this one, we're on about 3.5 hours with an hour or so break. Um, Watching Legend Sports Universe. So, all right. So, anybody's hopefully folks going to be showing up tomorrow night for draft night. That'll be 7:30 Eastern time, 4:30 Pacific time for the next Ned McGreevy League. All right, Aaron and D. Scott, thank you guys for stopping in. I really appreciate you. And then had some other folks watching and just kind of lurking in the background. SI Baseball by Mark Anason, and this is Beatles Journally. And Aaron's looking for Aaron. Are you one of the managers? I didn't look in Discord to see who we have. Bernie said that we have 8 managers, so hopefully, I'm hoping you're one of them. But looking forward to have you there regardless. It'd be a lot of fun. So that's it. I think I'm done doing baseball for the night. Because, I mean, technically, I'm one of those people. I still call this Saturday night because it's dark, but it is Sunday morning. So we are about, I don't know, 16 hours or 17 hours till we start drafting for the next McGreevy. And I put an app together for us to do the draft, so it's going to go really smoothly. I'm hoping. It's going to be a snake draft. So for those of you watching now, Aaron, if you're in it, it's not going to be a linear draft. I think that's unfair to the last pick. So we'll do a snake draft. And should hopefully, well, we say we hopefully will go quickly, but you know this channel. We get off on all kinds of tangerines and stuff. All right, guys, until the next time, till tonight, it's 7:30, and then maybe if the draft goes quickly, Ken Castro and I will do Game 2 of the 1912 World Series, playing head-to-head in Apago. All baseball most of the time. See you guys around the batting cage. Good night.